Hey there. Pardon the fact that I look a hot mess right now. I'm not feeling so great today, but I had watched part of Oprah's Dark Girls last night, and it was just weighing on my mind because it's a story that needs to be told. And it just breaks my heart that it is still a story that needs to be told in 2013, that we're still having this internal discussion about light-skinned girls versus dark-skinned girls. Or guys too. I mean, I know they have it. They may not have it as bad as we do, but they have to deal with it as well. And the fact that in 2013 we are still having this debate, it just breaks my heart. I don't understand why we're still holding on to this poisonous idea that people that have darker skin tones are not as pretty or as beautiful or as talented, or why they should be held in any different regard than a person with a lighter skin tone. And to be honest, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it with friends of mine. I've seen it even with myself, with my own family. I mean, I'm not the lightest person ever, and I'm not the darkest. I'm pretty medium. But because I'm a medium skin tone, that means during the summer, I can get really dark if I'm outside a lot. And I do remember my mom telling me, don't stay out in the sun because you're going to keep getting darker, and, that's not good. And it had nothing to do with, cancer or anything like that, which is also a misconception that for whatever reason, we feel like we're exempt from skin cancer just because of the pigmentation in our skin, which it does help, but we can still get skin cancer. So please wear sunscreen when you're going to be out and about in the sun. But because actually my father is allergic to the sun. If he's out in, if his skin has no sunblock or sunscreen and he's exposed for like 10 minutes, he gets these big, huge welts that itch on his skin. And yeah, so we still get these crazy skin conditions just because we've got, melanin. It doesn't mean that we're exempt from those skin issues. So wear your sunscreen. But aside from that, what also just was a knife in the chest for me about this documentary was that they did this test on children. It was a little girl who was probably 5, maybe. And they had these renderings of these little girls, and they spanned from one being really light, practically white, and then the different shades up to like really dark and basically black. And a couple of the questions were, who's the smart child? And she points to the white child. And who's the dumb child? And she points to the dark child. And who's the pretty child? She points to the white child. And who's the ugly child? And she points to the black child. And the woman says, well, why do you think that is the ugly child? And she said, because she's black. She's dark. And it's just heart-wrenching that a 4 or 5-year-old child, this little girl, who looked like she was about to cry during this whole process, also, just pointing that out, that's her reaction, is heart-wrenching and absolutely ridiculous. I do not understand why we are still feeding into this stupid stereotype I don't know why we're just letting it live on generation to generation. It's ridiculous. We are all beautiful in our own way. No one is better than anyone because of the type of skin color that they have. I just don't understand how in our own community we can be so degrading to ourselves. We get enough of it from other people. Why are we doing it to ourselves? Like, don't poison the well from which you drink. Like, I would love to see, and it probably won't happen in my lifetime, but I would love to see us really band together and nip this in the bud. Get rid of it. You know, when you hear someone saying, oh, she dark, she black as an ace of spades, I'm like, and what? So what? She's still beautiful. What does that mean? When you hear somebody say that, correct them. Don't listen to people say just because you're really dark skinned, you're not pretty, or you can't be smart, or you can't be as well desired as someone who's lighter. That is bull. That is bull. That is complete piffle poppycock. It's wrong. Do not listen to people when they say that to you or a friend or a family member. And if you're saying that to people, you really need to stop and think about yourself and think about how you would feel if someone would come up to you and tell you that because of something that you can't change, you were born with, but because of that, you're less desirable. You're not as pretty. You're not what is wanted to be attained. No. Just no. Stop it. It's heart-wrenching to see this perpetuating through every generation. It's unfathomable to me that we're still needing to have this conversation. Have the conversation, yes, but the fact that it's necessary, that we need to actually bring it to the forefront continuously, that, hey, we're still living with this. I'm dumbfounded. I'm absolutely dumbfounded, and I'm so sorry if I'm not speaking coherently. Again, like I said, I'm not feeling very well today, and this was just something that I'm really passionate about because it's not fair. It's not polite. It's not necessary to have that negativity and hostility for no reason, for something that cannot be changed. And I just wish that we could really embrace ourselves and embrace our culture and embrace our skin tones, our hairstyles, our just to be able to harness that span of the spectrum that we have in our genes, that we all carry, and to be proud of it. Be proud that we don't all come out one color. Be proud that there are those of us that can be a little lighter in the winter time and then, you know, sit out in the sun during the first spring and summer days that allow us to, and get really tan and get really dark. And be proud of it. Be proud of your super dark sisters. Be as proud of them as you are of your super light skinned sisters. Why does there need to be this chasm of light versus dark? We get enough of that outside. Let's not keep that inside the community. Let's get rid of that. I'd really like to see that happen. I hope that I get to see it. I'm sure that I won't. But I would really like to see that happen. And it really needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. We really need to teach our children that we're all equal, and that we're all intelligent and creative and beautiful. It just needs to happen. I have no nicer way of putting it. That's my rant for today. I'm sorry to take up too much of your time. Yeah, I'm done.